Maybe.
You are now entering the world of a movie review. A world full of drama, joy, ridicule, movie spoilers, unpopular opinions, and adult humor for as far as the eye can see. Welcome to an evening at the movies.
Polka dot, polka dot, polka dot, polka dot.
Literally, that's how we're going to open the show.
Circus, yes.
I mean, it is kind of fitting considering who one of the characters is in this week's movie. So, but before we get into that, hello, everybody. For those of you who were here at 4:30 expecting us to be live, I'm sorry. It is my fault. I will take the blame for the team.
Yeah, it wasn't my fault.
I thought it was your fault, and I tried to freaking blame you. But
it's rarely ever my fault, let's be honest. I'm a stickler for being on time. If you're not early, you're late.
Do not lie to the unpopped kernels.
I am not lying. I am rarely late, and if I am, there's a good reason. Being late gives me anxiety. I said rarely. I didn't say never, and you have no room to talk. So anyway.
Continue. I didn't say I have no room to talk. I'm not innocent by any stretch of the imagination. But, wow. Almost anyway. 2 minutes into the show, and I haven't done the stale popcorn and watered down soda shit yet. For those of you who don't know, this is an evening at the movies. Hi, everybody. The podcast where we eat the stale popcorn, we drink the watered down sodas, and talk about all of our favorite movies and why we love them to varying degrees. We'll see how this episode goes. But I've already had a brief discussion with the person I'm about ready to introduce. So like I said, we'll see how it goes. But joining us, as always, our awesome co-host. Say hi, awesome co-host.
Hi, awesome co-host. It's me, Amanda. Oh my God, George sent me this TikTok earlier. I gotta. Sorry, I am still getting over the COVID bronchitis upper respiratory crap, so I apologize, you guys. I'm actually scared it's turning into pneumonia, so I apologize. But I cannot remember this guy's name on TikTok, but you guys probably know him. He's really funny. He does all these impressions of like Boomer, Gen Z, Gen X, Millennials, and he does like all these different characters. The one he sent me earlier was talking about like Super Mario being son of a bitch, being like Gen X, and they're like, no, he's a millennial because he's a total narcissist, and they're like, what? And he's like, literally all he ever says is, it's a me. Like, total narcissist. And they're like, yeah, he's definitely a millennial.
Oh my God, that's fucking funny. Aha.
Anyway, glad to be here. Sorry I sound like crap, but I will do my best.
I'm not gonna lie, you sound better than you sounded a week ago when we recorded Silver Bullet.
Yeah.
And even that was 100 times better than how you sounded when Josh and I did Children of the Corn and you popped in at the end.
Yeah, definitely.
So the scale of wellness is moving back in your favor.
Yeah, by January I should be back to normal.
Yeah, right in the middle of cold and flu season.
Yeah, you better shut your mouth.
I just speak the ills. The gypsy curses have to be put into effect by he who shall not be named because he is not here.
Fair.
So, not my fault. Well, I mean, it is my fault because I put the thought in his head and then the words came out of his mouth and you fell and broke your ankle at the Super Bowl. And
now here we are.
Yeah, how's that healing going?
It's going. My ankle and my wrist will never be the same. Thanks, guys.
I'm sorry, that's not funny. I'm trying my ass
Anyway,
off not to fucking chuckle, but yeah. What are we here
I
for
have
this
my
week?
tasty cherry limeade Topo Chico mix here. I haven't had wine and well, I had a glass of wine the other night at the movies and I had a mimosa at brunch, but I have not had alcohol in like 2.5 weeks. Why are you flipping me off?
Where did you go last week?
What?
Where did you go last Friday?
Oh, I went to see The Long Walk. Sorry, it's not my fault you don't have a movie theater. Am I supposed to never go to the movies just because your shitty ass town doesn't have a movie theater?
Yes.
Sorry, that's not happening. If I don't go to the movies and don't support my local movie theater, then your town will probably never get a movie theater. I'm helping you.
Yeah. This town's probably never getting a movie theater back again.
Well, maybe
Um
somewhere closer to you than Seattle will get one if people would just go to the movies.
well, I mean,
People, this is my PSA again, which I will make every time I can, anytime it comes up. Please go to the movies. I know we have streaming. I know we have amazing TVs and sound systems and the comfort of our own home. I know the movies are expensive. I get it. I get it. I get it. Please go to the movies, you guys. Movie theaters need to stay open. This is an experience our kids need to have, their kids need to have. Please keep movie theaters from going out of business. Thank you. Rant over. But also, I did go to see The Long Walk. If you're a King fan, if you've read the novella, it was well worth the wait. I've been wanting a movie for years. It was really good. It was extremely brutal. So just be prepared for that. But yeah, it was good. Sorry, Casey.
I'm guessing that is one of my ex-clients, Mateo. And if that's the case, hi Mateo. Miss you, bud. But
Oh, Swap Zone. Ooh.
yeah,
Casey's reading a comment for people that aren't watching.
yeah. Sorry.
Thanks for watching. With your
But
WAP.
yeah, thank you for watching and commenting along, people. No, that Long Walk is probably one of the 2 or 3 King movies or King adaptations I've been chomping at the bit for. So I was excited when the trailer dropped and a release date got dropped, but at the same time, I live in the sticks.
Yeah.
So what you gonna do?
Well, you'll get to see it. I mean, stuff comes to streaming so fast now. I mean,
Oh God, it's not like when
nobody,
we were kids.
yeah, nobody remembers the days when you had to wait 8 to 10 months and sometimes over a year for a movie to come to video, DVD, whatever. So nobody knows the pain. So yeah, don't worry, you'll see it sooner rather than later. But anyway, yeah, that
Oh
was
yeah,
a good movie to see in the theater. I think for sure.
most of I think the general rule of thumb when it comes to the studios nowadays is 45 days after release or 45 to 90 days after release.
Yeah,
So by the end of the year, I should at least see one of the 2 Stephen King movies that comes out by the end of the year.
yeah,
Ironically, the other one actually looks insanely interesting as well.
it really does. You're talking about The Running Man, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it does look really good.
And we all know how much Kasey and Amanda love the Stephen King, so
Speaking of
but
which, segue.
oh yeah. For those of you who don't know, it is Stephen King Birthday Bonanza,
Woo!
which again, for anybody new to the show watching that doesn't know what Stephen King Birthday Bonanza is, the month of
Self-explanatory.
September the month of September every year since the show started, we have done nothing but celebrate Stephen King all month long. Lots of interesting topics to discuss, all of that. This month we are discussing Children of the Corn, Silver Bullet. Next week, I know it was planned for this week, but next week we will be back and we will be discussing one of his recent releases, The Monkey. And there was a reason why I cleared my throat before I said the title. And I believe my co host knows why.
Did you
But
finish it?
I can't, I don't want to.
You have to finish it
Oh,
because
I will finish it, but
I have questions about the end,
we
so I
need
need somebody
to
else's
have
opinion.
this discussion not on live because I don't want it to.
Okay, okay.
Well, yeah, we need to discuss what I was going to say offline because I don't
Okay.
want to discourage people from tuning in next week. If you drift my
I
catch,
Yeah. I think I'm gonna watch it
so
again, and I'm gonna have a gummy or some alcohol. I'm gonna give it another
that
shot.
does tend to help most. Mo- See, and that's like what you said the other day when Dre was talking about him and Emily watching Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. That's one of those movies you have to watch either drunk or high or two birds, one stone, and both.
Yeah.
And yeah, Johnny
Um,
Depp movies are definitely not everybody's cup of tea, but generally weed and alcohol can help enhance the experience for anybody.
um, send Kevin the link.
For the show,
Yeah.
oh, well,
Yeah. Damn it. Sorry.
and it's coming.
Some of Johnny Depp's movies are definitely an acquired taste. There's a few movies he's in that are more like, like crap. What's that gangster movie? Public Enemies. Like that's kind of a straight-laced or, you know, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but a character you can watch and not have to be like, why am I putting
It's
up with
more
this
of a
weirdness?
biopic.
But many of his other characters are like wildly like this guy is a fucking weirdo. So yeah, it's not for everybody for sure.
All right, so I'm gonna try something. Yeah, no, fuck it. I'll just forward it to you. Although I'm sure he probably already sent it to you as well.
I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Did you get a DM from Papa Palpatine?
Why are we talking about him right now while we're trying to do a show? What is happening?
Because he literally just messaged me a freaking GIF, and I had to
Okay.
laugh.
Okay, cool. Anyway, back to your regularly scheduled programming. We're recording a live podcast here. Pay attention.
Yeah, and I'm was sending the link for Kevin.
Kevin. Oh, okay. You're gonna wonder how I got here, but you're not going to. So I watched the Emmys the other night, and I have never heard of this show, but apparently other people have, and it's amazing. The Studio with Seth Rogen. Have you heard of this show? I've never heard of it. It's on Apple TV. I know you're gonna get mad, but it won a shit ton of awards. But when I saw that Catherine O'Hara was in it, I was like, sign me up. I love that woman. Kendra and I were messaging. She's like, I feel like that woman's lived like a million different lives with all the different characters she's played. And I was like, you're so
Wait a
right.
minute. Are we talking about Catherine O'Hara as in Maura
Mrs.
Rose?
Yes, Mrs. McAllister. That's how I got there. Kevin. So anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna start watching that after I finish The Hunting Wives, which oh my god, you guys, this show is so fucked up, and may I say, an accurate representation of Texas.
I
Got
have
lots of girl on girl if you like that
seen
kind of stuff.
a whole lot of stuff on the dark web about that show.
It's really good. I was watching it yesterday, and George was working from home, and apparently he's heard of it. We've never talked about it, but he came out from the office and he saw. He's like, "Oh, you're watching The Hunting Wives?" And I was like, "Yeah, do you know about it?" He's like, "Yeah, I've heard some talk about it." He's like, "Is it good?" And I was like, "Yeah, there's some girl on girl stuff." And he's like, "Do we see Brittany Snow's boobs?" And I was like, "I haven't seen them yet, but you see a lot of Malin Ackerman's." And he's like, "Okay." He went back to the office, and like 30 seconds later, you see Brittany Snow's boobs. So I texted him, and he comes running out of the office, and he's like, "Rewind it." And it was a
That's
girl on
funny.
girl scene. So of course he's like, "Yeah, rewind it."
No disrespect to your husband, but I don't think I could imagine seeing him run anywhere. But I mean,
It
Britney
was funny
Spears
because we hear his
boobs.
footsteps down the hallway. Okay, sorry, we're 16 minutes in. We need to get back to our topic at hand. We're
Ooh,
just
what I sent the link for Kevin.
well, is he actually coming? We never really know. Let's just do the thing and see
Okay,
what happens.
well, okay, hold on. Evident.
Dun dun dun. I will say one of the things that the Hunting Wives does get kind of like stupid is that they take this girl who has never shot a gun, who knows nothing about guns. They take her out and they're like hunting. Well, first they're skeet shooting. They hand her this giant rifle, and basically the girl like gets behind her and she's like, "It's got a kick," and she shoots it once and she kind of like jerks back and doesn't hit the target and whatever. But like that bitch would have fallen down. She probably wouldn't have been like first she doesn't take the safety off and they all laugh at her. But then the second time she shoots it, she holds onto it and she hits the target. There's no fucking way. You know how hard it is to shoot a rifle when you've never shot a gun? I've never even shot a gun and I know it's not that easy. So I'm like, whatever.
That's just blasphemy to be from Oklahoma, living in Texas, and not shot a gun before.
I know it's very rare.
Are
And
you the only person in the
I
state
grew
of
up with
Texas?
guns in my house and I've never shot a gun. So
Hmm.
but I will be
All
taking
right.
classes soon actually. So
So, evidently, today is just not going to be KCB's day
why?
because evidently I did not hit Control V when I opened the window to send Kevin the link.
Okay.
So, I have hit Control V now. So, if Kevin pops in, Kevin pops in. But, like you said almost a full minute ago, we're rapidly approaching 20 minutes into the episode and we haven't even said what the hell we're talking about yet. So,
I know. If you're
anyway,
still with us, we appreciate you.
it, yeah, it's been one of those
I think only
couple
the
weeks.
loyal listeners want to listen to us talk about stupid shit for this long. Okay, so we're here to talk about a real movie. Let's go.
Yeah, it's our freaking lives, but it is what it is. And so, yes, um, Stephen King Birthday Bonanza week 3, or Stephen King Birthday Bonanza month, week 3 is here. We're going to be talking about It Chapter 2 because, for those of you who remember, we talked about It Chapter 1 back in July
Something like
for
that.
Summerween. Yeah, July for Summerween. And my genius idea was, hey, why not just rip the Band-Aid off and get Chapter 2 out of the way now and don't prolong the agony any more than we have to. We're going to have some discussions and all of that, and opinions may or may not change by the time we go off the air, but if they do, yay. If not, double yay. So, all right. So, but
First,
we have a game to play first.
you think CBS copyrighted that? But first, I don't think they
Probably.
did. Anyway.
CBS has done a whole lot of fucked up shit in the last year anyway.
Okay, game time.
Hashtag congratulations, Stephen Colbert, on winning Outstanding Talk Series.
Yes.
And not to get political, but El Presidente and CBS and Paramount.
And especially now with what's going on with Big Brother, I may just boycott. Well, I can't. I want to watch Survivor.
Well, you have to at least watch 2 more seasons of Survivor because
Yeah.
there are people
And I
from
get
this
to,
season that go over into season 50, and season 50 is a freaking milestone and
yeah.
all of that. You could pull the plug next summer after the season finale.
Okay. All
Because
right.
trust me, the thought has crossed my mind as well. But um, we're not getting into the whole rigmarole of what's going on with all of that. But before we play everybody's new favorite game that we just started playing on an evening at the movies, it is with heavy hearts that we do make reference to the fact that Hollywood lost one of the truly iconic actors of all time this week or this morning, actually, not even this week, but Robert Redford passed away at, I don't even have it pulled up, but
I think that
80,
86, 89,
80 something. I was thinking 86 or 89, one of the two.
88.
Either way,
It was late 80s. I remember seeing it. Now I
yeah,
forgot. But yeah, you're right.
long life, but like I said, one of the most respected and treasured acting talents in all of Hollywood and the world. Um, so, with that said, normally our new favorite game is themed to the episode of the week. This week, I think I'm just going to theme it towards honoring Mr. Redford.
Okay.
So, with that said, co host, let's go with The Natural or The Great Gatsby.
The Natural.
Mm-hmm. The Natural or Captain America Winter Soldier.
The Natural. I didn't even see Captain America Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I didn't figure you did. That's a lot of freaking Marvel movies, damn it.
Yeah.
The Natural or Out of Africa.
Ooh. Oh. Oh, man. Out of Africa.
Out of Africa or The Way We Were.
Ah, the way we were. You have to.
Uh-huh. Let's get a little bit more fucked up. The Way We Were or Indecent Proposal.
Ooh. Man, I think I gotta stick with the way we were.
The Way We Were or Up Close and Personal.
Oh, god damn it. I'm gonna get hate for this, but I don't care. I'm going with Up Close and Personal. I love that movie so much.
Mm-hmm. Up Close and Personal or The Sting.
So I'm gonna tell you, Up Close and Personal. I have only one movie that I can think of that's gonna beat it, but we're gonna see. Up Close and Personal.
And last but not least, Up Close and Personal or Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Oh, well, this is easy because you didn't name the one I thought. Up Close and Personal.
Which one did you think I was going to name?
How the fuck did you leave off All the President's Men and The Glass Castle? The Glass Castle is the one I was going to pick over.
Have you not seen the list of
Yeah, I know.
acting credits that he's had?
I know. But
It's like, I didn't want to
didn't he win
drag
an
this on
Oscar
for
for All
half
the
an hour.
President's Men? And what about the Color of Money?
There's a whole lot of freaking shit that, I mean, yeah, we very easily could have been here all. If it wasn't Stephen King Birthday Bonanza, this easily could have been a Robert Redford tribute episode. But we are committed to showering love on Mr. King because on Sunday it is his old man birthday. But um, so yes, it chapter 2. For those of you who do not know, it chapter 2 released literally almost 2 years to the day after it chapter 1 on September 6th, 2019. It was directed by I know I said this freaking 6 weeks ago, but Andy, co-host.
What? I don't know.
How do you say the director's last name?
Oh, hold on. Oh, Muschietti.
Okay.
Muschietti.
Yeah.
No, I think it's Muschietti, actually.
I
It's
have
not a
no.
sh. It's a sk. Muschietti.
It's a something. I'll say that. Was released by Warner Brothers Pictures. Had a $79 million budget.
Sounds about right.
Um, again, we haven't played this game in a while. Would you like to wager a guess as to what the box office for this movie was?
I'm gonna say somewhere in the 300 million range, more or less. 400, yeah.
$473.1 million.
Damn.
If you are looking for it online to watch because you have not seen it, I will not shame you for it. Just saying. But it is available on Max, and I believe I saw it on Netflix as well. Don't quote me on that one, though. The easy
It
access for
was
anything
back.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
The rule of thumb for anything Warner Brothers related is if you want to find it online to stream, just go to freaking HBO. So, um, I have 2 Rotten Tomato scores for you to guess, as well as a reminder of what the first movie did on Rotten Tomatoes as well.
Okay.
So, would you like to wager a guess as to what you think the tomato meter and the popcorn meter for Chapter 2 is?
Do you want to tell me what the first one got?
Rotten Tomatoes or Rotten tomato meter on 390 reviews. Chapter 1 got an 85%.
Okay.
On 50,000 reviews, 50,000 plus reviews, Chapter 1 got an 84%.
Okay.
On the popcorn meter.
So I know this one was universally not as well liked. I'm gonna go with popcorn meter. Let's go 74%. Tomato meter, I'm gonna go 57.
Damn.
What?
On 25,000 plus reviews, the popcorn meter gave it Chapter 2 a 78%.
Oh, okay. And what I say, 74?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think that is due in large part to the fact that this movie had a lot of millennials go and see it. But
yeah,
I digress. Note, I'm not shaming anybody this episode. On 390 reviews, the tomato meter got it right with a whopping 62%.
Okay.
So I think you were off by 5 on the tomato and 4 on
okay.
popcorn.
Not too bad.
Generally, that's where you fall when you cover the spread.
Yeah, typically.
So
All right. So it chapter 2 did get a few awards.
not Academy.
No, I mean, again, horror never. Saturn Awards. It did win Best Horror Film. Bill Hader won Best Supporting Actor. And it won Best Makeup, and then it was nominated for Best Special Effects. So, and I mean, Best Makeup, yeah, rightfully so. Um, I don't know what other horror movies came out in 2019, but I think, as big of a blockbuster as it was, and just, I mean, I think this movie was pretty terrifying. Whether you liked it or not, it had some really good jump scares. It had some really good gore. It had some stuff that was pretty terrifying. So,
So
I think as far
before
as horror goes, it did a good job. So,
before we get into Amanda's plot description, I will preface everything by saying I am one of the people who, after seeing this movie the first time, did not care for it at all. And generally, I have not had a nice thing to say about it. I have not seen it again since then until I prepped for this episode.
oh, okay.
So, and like I told my co host the other night while I was watching it, my opinion of said movie may or may not have softened in the last 5 years since it came out, almost to the day. But we'll get into all the details behind that statement after we get the plot description out of the way. So I will step down off my podium and the floor is yours to tell the audience what this amazing movie is about.
Okay. I mean, I've seen both of these movies a million times because, as you know, but for those that don't, my daughter Abby, we're both obsessed with horror. She was obsessed at the time both with Finn Wolfhard and Jaden Martell. So, um, whether I've wanted to or not, I've seen both of these movies a lot. So I have some thoughts. But um, for people that don't know, um, it chapter 2 uh, picks up 27 years after the end of the first one. Defeated by members of the Losers Club, the evil clown Pennywise returns 27 years later to terrorize the town of Derry, Maine once again. Now adults, the childhood friends have long since gone their separate ways, but when people start disappearing, Mike Hanlon calls the others home for one final stand. Damaged by scars from the past, the united losers must conquer their deepest fears to destroy the shape-shifting Pennywise, now more powerful than ever. Dun-dun-dun.
I mean, united, probably not the correct adjective to use because not all of them came back.
Well, but the
Spoiler
ones that
alert.
did eventually united. There's no spoiler alert. This book came out in what, the 80s, and the first movie came out in 1990, and these movies have been out. Like, if you haven't seen or read or heard any of this, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm guessing most people who are going to be here watching either live or tomorrow when it drops / today mumbo jumbos. But yeah, if you're here listening to us ramble on about Stephen King again, probably because you're a Stephen King fan, and if you're a Stephen King fan and have not seen all 3 of the It movies and are not chomping at the bit for Welcome to Derry in a month,
Ooh, yeah, I can't wait.
then give me your Stephen King fan club membership card because
I'm struggling lighting over
shit's
here.
about to get
Sorry.
real.
Yeah. Mhm.
But get okay. So there's one thing I want to get out of the way right off the bat because I don't necessarily want to give this subject a whole lot of credit, but I don't think we can have a thorough discussion without bringing it up.
Yeah.
And ironically, it's pretty much the opening of the movie with a scene at the canal, whatever festival or
Town
whatever
fair.
the hell they're
Yes, town
calling it.
fair. Mhm.
It's basically a town fair. Um, but uh, the scene ends in a very uncomfortable way.
Brutal way.
Well, it's yes,
A homophobic
it.
hate crime.
I'm trying to think. Oh, it's very much a hate crime, and uh, so if hold on just a second. So okay, if you're coming into this with no knowledge of the plot, blah 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 whatever, uh, is this scene something that you feel like needs to be a part of the movie for the movie to work?
I don't know. And I really was wondering. Um, so going into the first movie, I didn't know because for people that don't know, the book goes back and forth between past and future. Now, we going into the first movie, we didn't know if they were going to do that. And this scene in the book happens very early. So watching the first movie when we realize it's all just the childhood part, I was really wondering are they going to somehow like show this because we don't
Yeah,
I don't remember in the book which timeline this happens in. I believe it happens in the later timeline, like in the when the kids are adults, but they don't really tell you because it doesn't matter.
I
I
believe it
don't.
actually happens before the Georgie death.
Oh, really? Okay. So, like in the 60s?
But I could be, don't quote me on that.
Because that would be in the book. That would be
I
in the
could be wrong.
60s. Well, I mean, either way, it doesn't matter. I can't remember in the book. I just know in the book it happened
Yeah,
early, but I can't remember which timeline it was in. So I was really wondering going into this movie, were they going to include that? I don't know that it needed to be included, honestly. And it was really, really brutal. I mean, the beating and it was bad. Um, I have mixed feelings about it. I think because, and I'm glad they didn't include the gangbang scene at the end of the first one. This was probably the most controversial scene from the book they could still throw in just to make it more gritty, I guess. And again, it's a Pennywise
yeah.
kill that they can include that was just random. So I don't know. I could have done without it because it doesn't really contribute to the story. There's things that they left out of this one that I feel like they could have added and taken some stuff out. Like they could have taken this out and given us Audra where Audra in the book is with them in the sewer. We could have had that, or we could have had a
Mhm.
little bit more of Beverly and her husband's relationship because there's more of that in the book. Not necessary, but the stuff with Bill and the little kid in his old house that wasn't in the book. It was a cool addition, but I don't know. What do you think? I have mixed feelings about it. I don't think it was necessary, but I think it is what it is, and
It's one of those things where I feel like hats off to the screenwriter and director Andy, who that will be his name from ever on
Mhm.
now. So I don't
Whiskey
have to
Eddie.
say, shut up, phone. Have to
Would you
say
silence it?
the M word because the Mariners are playing right now.
Oh.
and we're in first place in our division ahead of the Houston assholes. I mean Astros. And our catcher is one home run away from making history.
Oh, nice.
So, but I believe I was going down the road of if you have seen as much Stephen King movies as we have, you know that screenwriters and directors generally aren't overly faithful to the source material.
That's what I was going to say. That's the only reason it needed to be there. Is they're staying
And
faithful.
um, yes, there are some huge differences between this movie or these two movies and the 1,200 page book that, yeah. Um, Shout out to Mr. Tim Arnold. There's no space age turtle.
Yeah. I'm fine without the turtle, honestly.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
I'm also fine without the pregnant spider. Thank you very much.
I mean, there was enough spiders in this movie for you
Yeah.
between the
It was
Chinese
spidery enough.
restaurant. Yeah. So, but yeah, absolutely 100%. So, like I was saying, though, hats off to them for staying faithful, as faithful as possible to the source material. But I don't think this scene added anything at all to the story at all.
I agree.
Um,
I
they
feel like it was,
easily could have done uh introduction into like a little child into the story like they did in 1990 with the little girl that was riding her tricycle down the street and she gets told to come inside and she gets distracted by Tim Curry and he comes through the freaking drying laundry and
yeah.
yeah, all of that. That could have been a very effective way of reintroducing the fact that Pennywise is back. I don't necessarily think you had to go to the point of a hate crime to that
Yeah.
magnitude. So, the only thing I guess that it could, no, it doesn't even really speak to that, even because, and I don't remember if it's actually ever spoken out loud in part two or not. Because if it is, it's only like once or twice and then left alone. But I believe they toyed around and played around with the idea of alluding to the fact that Richie is, um,
Yeah. Gay. It's never said. It's just hinted to. Just like in the book. It's hinted, but it's more heavily implied in the movie, but it's never, I mean, Pennywise saying, "I know your secret, your dirty little secret," and the kid calling him a homo. Like, yeah, it's heavily implied in the movie, but they never say it.
which is fine because I would rather.
There's enough homophobia with that they didn't need to do this.
Yeah, no, exactly.
If it were,
Why? It,
I think what I would have done
oh,
personally,
go ahead. I just
okay,
had a freaking.
what I would have done,
Okay, there
I
it
would
goes.
have taken that scene out because again, it's not really relevant. I mean, other than showing what a shit town Derry is and giving us another Pennywise kill eventually,
Yeah.
we already know Derry's a shit town. I would have taken the baseball game scene and I would have opened with that because that scene is very poorly placed in this movie. Um, we get the whole like gathering together, they all
You
meet at a Chinese restaurant, and then it's just randomly this baseball game scene where Pennywise gets this little girl. I would have opened with that scene. I would have made
I
that scene a little bit longer and opened with that, and I think that would have been good.
and I'm not gonna lie. What the hell does director Andy and Mike Flanagan have with Little League baseball games?
I don't know. Oh,
Because both this and Doctor Sleep came out like almost. I think Doctor Sleep was right in the middle of it, chapter 1 and it, chapter 2,
yeah, I think so.
or right. No, it was after.
I don't
Because the
remember.
Dark Tower came first, then it chapter 1, and yeah. But either way, yeah, that Doctor Sleep death with the Little League baseball
Oh
player.
God,
Rose
Jacob Tremblay beat the
Rose the
shit out
Hat
of that.
is an ass,
Yeah,
and I'm putting that politely. So, but anyway, definitely, I feel like that scene did not have to be there at all, and it
yeah, I
doesn't
agree.
take away. It doesn't add to. It doesn't take away. It's just, to me, it's filler.
I have a funny story about going to see this movie. I think maybe I've told you this before, but I'm going to tell it again just for the listeners that don't know. So, I went with some of my best friends, and like, so my best friends that we're moving close to, they hang out with their like family all the time. So it's like a big group of siblings and sometimes their parents. So it was like this big group of us. And my friend Megan was like, I don't want to sit next to certain people because I know they're going to be jumpy. And she and I haven't watched very many scary movies together. And I was like, so she's like, I'm gonna sit by you. And I was like, okay. So we're watching the movie, and everything's like, they had this scene at the restaurant where all the fortune cookies turn into the things, which was like insane, but it wasn't really a jump scare. So we get to the baseball scene and it's really quiet in the theater because that whole he's like, 1, 2, and then she's like, you're supposed to say, and then he's like, rah, and he grabs her. I screamed so loud and jumped out of my seat. I scared the shit out of her. And then the theater, like, I wasn't the only one that screamed though, but people in the theater were like kind of started laughing at the people that screamed. And she was like, what the fuck, Amanda? I wanted to be like, I was trying to tell you not to
I'm
sit by
not gonna
me for
lie. Director Andy has a PhD in fucking jump scares, because there's some
that was
pretty
a
good jump
really
scares
good
in both
one.
of these movies. Yeah, well,
That
and I
part
even like, if you go back and look at like that scene in the flooded basement in chapter 1,
yeah.
where yeah, Georgie and the bah, it's not even well. I mean, it's not well necessarily. You see it coming a mile away, but still,
Right,
when
but
it
it still gets
happens,
you.
bam, it's right, you know, out in your face.
Well, it's just like with that little girl and with Georgie, you know what's gonna happen to them. You know it's coming, but it still gets
Mhm.
you. Like you're waiting for
Yeah.
it with bated breath, but it still gets you. The other thing about that
No, I
scene.
mean,
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead. Well, I was just gonna
Oh,
say really quick that, like, and I believe I talked about it 6 weeks ago, but that whole Georgie scene in chapter 1 in the opening. By the way, 2 openings, polar opposites. But Georgie's death in chapter 1, that's one of those that if you're a King fan, you know is coming,
mhm.
but you're not prepared seeing that movie for the first time, knowing just how far director Andy's going to go.
Yeah, because you don't know what he's gonna look like.
Because
Like you're not prepared for what this version of Pennywise is gonna look like when he finally shows himself,
yeah,
as the evil part of himself.
yeah, because again, you didn't get a whole lot of the evilness in 1990
Yeah.
and all the gore and yeah, but definitely the gloves came off for chapter 1 and chapter 2.
Yeah.
So, um,
I wanted to say something else about that baseball scene real quick because it's my little
mhm,
soapbox moment. One thing that made me so sad about it, and it just like the undertone of it is that, that little girl goes down there and he's just like, oh, I can't remember her name. Hello, blah, blah, blah. I know your name. That must mean we're friends. And her first instinct, like she is like about to trust her gut. She's like, you're not my friend. And she turns around to leave. And he starts crying and plays to her, emotions and sucks her back in. And it's just such the thing that happens with women so often that that's how people try to lure us in by, playing to our soft side, quote unquote, and playing to our emotions and our feelings. And it's like, damn, if she had just trusted her instincts. And it made me so sad. I was like, girl, no, trust your gut. Like, even as a little girl, she knew he was bad news, but, he was like,
yeah,
oh, look, I have a mark too. And she felt bad for him, and it's like, and I get that because there's so often I'm like, I could feel bad for somebody and do something to help them, but I'm like, nope. I've seen too many serial killer documentaries. Ted Bundy ruined a lot of my empathy for strangers. Sorry.
yeah, no, exactly. There's other reasons why I don't trust humanity, but
Oh yeah, but
serial killers and knowing a lot of the Ted Bundy stuff and the Gary Ridgway stuff
yeah,
and all of that. Yeah, we live in a sick, sick world, and it ain't getting any better.
yeah.
So,
Okay, so do you want to tell me why you didn't like the movie when you first saw it, and has your opinion changed? Because I know some
so
of the reasons why people
initially,
don't like it, but I want to hear what you have to say.
so there are not a lot of reasons that I hated this movie to begin with, but the couple of reasons that there are not small ones in my opinion. Um, the big one for me was the adult cast literally did not feel like they had any chemistry at all. But before we go down the road of discussing, I also want to say too, going back and watching this movie this week in preparation, there's also, I believe, where they were trying to go with this movie was showing how much all six of them that come back to Derry have gone and built their own separate lives, and they're not besties that have a group chat and text back and forth all the damn time.
Right, like, I
Most of
think
them
it was
have completely
intentional.
forgotten about each other.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of sort of, and I think King even wrote the characters that way in the book as well. Um, it just,
'Cause you also have to remember they don't remember anything when they come back.
yeah,
Like, they remember who
which
each other is, but they don't remember their shared history.
yeah, which part of that is why I'm softening my opinion of the movie, because that's to play that portion of the atmosphere, you have to have, in a way, a lack of chemistry, I guess, would be the easiest
Right.
way to do it. Um,
They have to feel like strangers at first until they start remembering. But to be fair, when they all show up at that Chinese restaurant, I really feel like they fell back into a camaraderie really fast. Like they're sitting around that table, they're making the your mom jokes with Eddie, and they're like, I thought that chemistry in that scene was pretty good. But then as they start to remember what's happening and their fear kind of sets back in, it's they're fighting with that shared
Yeah,
trauma, but also like trying to figure out what to do. I
it
don't
was
know.
a lot like the 1990 miniseries. Like they're all kind of off wherever coming back together, but yet it's
Right.
almost like the Chinese restaurant. As soon as they see each other, bam, they're back to being besties and laughing and joking and all of that. But
Like that scene
um,
felt pretty natural to me. I don't know what you think. I
yeah,
get where people are
I could
coming
see
from,
that.
but I don't know.
Um, Personally, there was, from in my opinion, there was a couple of the adult losers that I didn't necessarily feel like were great choices for the character. Um, one of which, and I'm not trying to be an asshole, was honestly Jessica Chastain. I feel like the kid who set the table for her in chapter one did an amazing job at playing Beverly Marsh,
Yeah,
but then I feel like, for lack of a better term, Jessica crapped the bed. And I'm not trying to say Jessica Chastain is a shit actress by any stretch of the imagination. She's nominated
oh
multiple
yeah,
times
not at all.
over. She's done great work. I feel like she's a very talented actress. I don't
I
feel like she fit well in
I
this
agree.
environment.
I feel like Bryce Dallas Howard would have been a good choice
Yes.
for her. I think she would have fit the Beverly character a little bit better and would have kind of had the she would have had the grit but also the softness a little bit better.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me tell you my theory. This is my opinion, and I have never heard anybody say this, but as I've watched it a few more times, I think there is one character that was not either written right or cast right. Actually, I think it's both. And I think it's why people have this feeling that the adults don't have chemistry. You think about the first movie and all the kids together. You have Jaden Martell as Bill, and Bill is kind of like their leader. He's got this like authority sort of over the group, and not in like a boss kind of way, but like he wants to get shit done. He's the one that's like, we're going to figure this out. We're going to take care of this. He's hell bent, and he's got like this friendship but leadership role. James McAvoy does not pull that off in this movie. He is very like bumbling and weak, in my opinion. I don't remember the book well enough to know if adult Bill was like that. And I love James McAvoy. I think he's amazing. I don't think he was the right choice for this because Bill doesn't have that same pull with the group. And again, I know that they've been apart and all this other stuff, but I feel like because
Yeah.
you, you don't have a character, they do, they want you to think they fall back into their same characters, but Bill really doesn't. I could be completely off base, but that's how I feel about it. And I could be completely wrong, but that's my opinion is that James McAvoy just doesn't do a good job pulling off Bill. And that could be his source material, that could be the
Again,
writing, or it could just be he wasn't a good fit. I don't know.
that nothing against James McAvoy
Not
because
at all. No, he's amazing.
I feel like he's an amazing actor as well.
Phenomenal. I mean, my God, have you seen Split? Holy shit.
Yes,
I just don't think he
and
was a good choice for Bill.
I will probably get hate mail for this
Mm,
one as well, but he's not Patrick Stewart, but I love him as
the-
Dr. Charles Xavier in
Yeah.
X-Men. So,
My pick for Bill, adult Bill, would have been Topher Grace. I think he would have done a good job.
yeah, I remember when um Chapter 1 released and everybody flocked to the theaters and saw it and fell in love with it and all of that, and they hadn't yet cast the adults for um
Chapter 2.
yeah, and there was a lot of fantasy casting from a lot of King fans as to who they wanted to see play the different roles, and Topher, I believe, was one of them that came up at times to play Adult Bill.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, he may be older than is expected, but realistically, even as somebody our age, he looks a lot younger than what we all are.
Right. I honestly, oh, sorry, good.
No, the only other one as far as casting goes that I'm trying to think. No, no, no. I think those were probably the two biggest missteps in casting that just felt wrong to me. Um, the only other complaint that I had was the fact that this was a 3 hour long movie,
Yeah, I know that was another complaint people had.
and
I think it was
it didn't
necessary.
feel it. Huh?
I think it was necessary, but it did feel long. You're right.
Like, okay, so again, I'm sure everybody's seen the movie and knows, but a third of this movie is the final fight scene at the end of the movie. Like, I legitimately looked at the clock counter at the bottom of the screen when I was
Mhm.
watching it,
Yeah.
and there was an hour left in the movie when they
Hey.
get to Nebolt and get the final fight goes almost all the way up until the very last minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
So, I
It
mean,
did take a long time.
I just you can make a 3 hour long movie, but to me, if you're gonna make a 3 hour long movie, it has to be paced well.
Yeah.
And at times, this just didn't feel like it was a very well-paced movie, like, it'd start out, moving right along, and then all of a sudden, it'd slow way back down again,
Yeah.
and
That
then
was my biggest complaint too.
it would pick up, and then it would slow back down again, and it's like, "You're gonna do this to me for 3 hours? Come on, dude."
Well, and like those middle scenes didn't need to be that long. The scenes where they all go find their token, those scenes lasted way too long.
Yeah,
Like, and like the scene with Eddie and his mom, and oh my God, it was so gross. Like, for how gross those scenes were, and like with Beverly and her dad and the old, like, for how graphic and gross some of those scenes were, they lasted way too long. Those
yeah,
could have been shortened for sure.
but I think those are probably my 2 biggest complaints about the movie, though, were the chemistry and the flow of the movie from start to finish.
Yeah.
Um, like I told you in our DMs the other night, I have softened my opinion quite a bit compared to what it was when I first watched this movie. I hated this movie the first time I saw it just because I thought he did a really good job with part 1, and
Yeah.
then I feel like he literally just phoned it in and crapped the bed on chapter 2.
I mean, I don't think they phoned it in. The cinematography, the special effects, like everything, I feel like is top tier. I just don't think, like you said, it's paced or flows together well. I think it's a little chunky. But I think for the most part, the performances are good. All the effects and like I said, cinematography, direction, I think is good. It's just it doesn't flow well. Um, And real quick, just back to the casting. Loved Bill Hader, thought he was perfect for Richie, but I feel like it was a huge missed opportunity not to cast Seth Green.
Oh no, Seth Green would have been, well, again,
Might be too old though. I don't know.
that would have been one of those fun little Easter eggs though,
Right?
because for those of you who don't know and didn't watch 1990, Seth Green played Richie in the Tommy Lee Wallace miniseries back in 1990.
Yeah, young Richie, obviously.
So, yeah, he played young Richie. So, it would have been a nice flip to have young Richie from 1990 play old Richie in
Yeah.
what, 29 years later. I mean, that's only fair. I mean,
Yeah, that's
27
not that bad.
years. So, there's a 29-year gap in, well, 27-year gap, I guess. Either way, but um
I felt so bad for poor Ben though. Like he shows back up and they're sitting at the table and Beverly's just still like talking to Bill and he's like, "God damn it, I am so fucking hot and she still won't even look at me."
yeah. No, and that I'm not going to get into my top 5 yet, but
Like we're not
Ben was
ready.
the person that inspired my top 5 for
Oh
this
yeah.
episode. So, um so since you were the one that posed the question to me about what rubbed me the wrong way about the movie, I'm going to flip the coin over and go to you with in what ways do you feel like this movie delivers?
I mean, again, again with all the filming aspects, I think it's really great. Um, I think the performances are actually pretty great. Other than again, I don't think James McAvoy gave a bad performance. I think it just wasn't in character for Bill. Um, I think the end scene could have been shorter, but I still feel like it was a good climax without us having to have the spider babies or pregnant spider or whatever. I think it stayed really true to the source material and gave us a good closing, with everybody kind of getting their ending. And, you know, I thought it had a nice kind of sweet ending, and like with Stanley's letter and whatever. I like the way it closed out the story.
Yeah. No, I think, and I believe it was Stan that said it too in a flashback. No, it was because it was at his bar mitzvah when
Oh,
he
yeah.
goes quote unquote off book and confronts his dad and tells him, "I know I'm a loser, and I always fucking will be."
Yep. It was so
You
cute.
know, I know there's aspects of the Stan character that are were made where we're made to feel like we're not sure where his intention and his heart lays. But you know, delivering that line proves he's there. He's with his boys and well,
Yeah.
Bev, and you know it. You just have to get to the end of the movie to realize why he's not physically there with them.
He he knew he wouldn't be able to hang.
Yeah, and yeah, um, I think my other favorite part for me though of the movie happened to be a certain Stan Lee esque cameo
Oh,
from everybody's favorite birthday boy on Sunday.
oh yeah.
The white haired gentleman that is currently having his face blocked on the screen by myself.
Oh, you're gonna say the refrigerator scene. He was like, "It's Stanley," like that.
You know, fuck that refrigerator scene. But
Yeah.
the for those of you obviously who haven't seen it, Stephen King plays the secondhand store owner when Bill finds his bike while he's walking down the street, and Bill comes into the store, has a conversation with him, discovers that uh, the shop owner has one of his books sitting on the counter, and before he leaves, Bill asks, "You want me to sign it?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm
I
okay with
hate
it."
the ending.
He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, did you like it?" And he's like, "Yeah." The ending was shit because that was basically the cheap shot that was always taken at Bill from the throughout the adult year story was um, his works were good, but his endings were he couldn't write an ending to save his life.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that was funny.
it it almost was kind of poetic the way that that played out over the 3 hour period.
And then he finally writes something different at the end.
Yeah.
Finally found his stride.
So, but
All
yeah,
right.
there was definitely enough good stuff that I will proudly say I don't 100% hate this movie like I did
Hmm.
a month ago.
That's good.
So, do you have a top five list that you would like to share with our amazing unpopped kernels?
I do. So I went with top five kid ensemble movies, and so it's actually really tough because once I started thinking about it, there was a lot more than I remembered. So I have a few honorable mentions, and people don't come for me when you hear some of these that didn't make my top five because I said what I said. Uh, Shut up. So honorable mentions.
I will come for you if it's not in the top five.
You can shut up. Honorable mentions. Super 8. Loved that movie. Almost made the top five. The Sandlot. Sorry, like that movie a lot. Everybody loves it. I know, but just didn't make it.
You killed
Um,
Miss Malls.
yeah. The Lost Boys, Monster Squad, E.T., Honey I Shrunk the Kids, and Adventures in Babysitting. Those are
Those are
all.
honorable mentions.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's a lot of really good ones.
Damn.
All right, number five.
No, I thought about it after you told me when I texted you and asked if I get to know what it is, and I'm like, I'm glad she went that direction because I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, well, I at first I just thought of like a few, and then I was like, oh man, there's this one, and then there's that one, and then I was like, oh my god. So
Yeah, like I could literally make a top five out of your honorable mentions.
Yeah, I could too. So I had to
So
stop.
I could probably guess at a few that are probably going to be in your top 5.
I'm sure you can.
So, but
All
yeah, no, thank you. Go ahead.
right. So number 5 is Now and Then. One of my all-time favorite movies. Love it so much. What?
That would have been one of my guesses that you
Okay.
had.
Number 4, and it's I know it would be higher for you, but you're probably gonna be surprised it's even on my list, but it's only because I just recently watched it. But the Harry Potter series.
Oh,
Those kids
well,
are amazing.
I
Uh,
actually wouldn't have put that one on the list just because of the
yeah,
fact that you just watched it.
right. Number 3 is It, Chapter 1, obviously. Number 2 is Stand By Me. See, you didn't have to worry. And number 1, obviously, is The Goonies. One of the best kid-led movies ever. So yeah.
When I
Did I
was thinking
forget one?
about it this morning, I did not even have the Goonies pop up in my head.
How? I figured that would have been like your
I have
first
no
one.
idea that I literally live right down the freaking road from where that movie was
I
filmed.
know. I figured that would
And
have been like your very first one. Interesting. And now I really want to go rewatch Now and Then. I haven't seen it in a while, but I used to watch it all the time.
no, yeah, it's definitely an underrated movie.
For sure.
And well, I won't say it's the girl version of it because there's no Pennywise, but you don't get an awful lot of full on female driven coming of age stories
Right.
like that.
I mean, it's the girl version of
So
Stand By Me without the dead body.
there you go. Like I was trying to make the parallel to something, and
Yeah.
the only thing that was popping into my head was it, and I'm like, there's no evil clown, but it or Stand by Me would be a better
It'd be
parallel
the
for it.
closest. Yeah.
So, all right,
All
I
right.
need
What's yours?
to flip. Oh, oh, Jesus God, our offense finally came back to life. Um, so I pulled up and came up with the idea, like I said earlier, inspired by Ben Hanscom,
Ben
but
Hanks.
my honorable or my uh top 5 list is most relatable Stephen King characters. So, not necessarily the greatest characters in the world, but the characters in some way, shape, or form I feel like I could relate to the most. Not necessarily always 100%, but how in the hell did we're going to have a discussion about how my phone auto corrected my number 1.
Okay.
I'm not saying it now because I don't want to give it away just yet. But I have 2 honorable mentions, one of which is from Amanda's favorite book, The Stand,
Blech.
and how it corrected from Nick to Nikki. I have no freaking idea, but Nick Andros. Um, and then honorable mention number 2, rest in peace, River Phoenix, the great Chris Chambers,
Yeah.
which and because we've talked about it before when we talked about Stand By Me, how much I love that movie
Yeah.
and how much I love his performance in that movie. It really hurt me to put that as an honorable mention and not have it in my top 5.
Yeah. It's surprising.
So when we get through with the top 5, you'll see why it didn't necessarily make the top 5, but it was freaking hard. That's what she said.
Womp womp.
So number 5, 1989 Pet Cemetery, Lewis Creed.
Hmm.
Just because of the fact I feel like there is a vast population in the world of people who have lost a child and know that feeling of wanting to have the child back and would give anything in the world to have said child back, and that
Yeah.
desperation that you feel as the grieving parent. Again, not necessarily saying he's right or a great person for it,
Yeah.
but number 4 is a tie. Same movie, but it's a tie. Andy Dufresne and Red from Shawshank Redemption.
Have you ever been wrongfully accused and imprisoned for murder?
Maybe. You haven't known me for the whole 48 and a half years of my life.
I mean, that's fair.
Uh-huh. There's other
That is
aspects
fair.
of the Andy Dufresne character that I feel are relatable other than
I know. I'm just
wrongful in prison. I and I'm gonna get shit for the number 3 as well, but again, I don't have the correct chromosomes for this, so don't even go there. Number 3, Carrie White.
kidding. Okay.
Number 2, the inspiration for the list himself, Ben Hanscom. Just because I remember being the fat kid in school that at times got teased and made fun of.
Aw.
And number 1, uh, I was not going to let this movie not be in my top 5 somewhere, even though it already popped up in the honorable mentions. But number 1, Gordy LaChance from Stand By Me.
Oh, yeah.
So my phone auto corrected Gordy into bodies.
That's weird.
Like, okay, whatever. But so if you were to give this movie a ranking out of 5, what would you give this movie?
I think, I didn't have the same bad opinion everybody else had of it. I definitely didn't like it as much as the first one. I agree. The pacing and the kind of piecing together of it didn't work as well for me. I think this movie could have been about 30 minutes shorter and I would have been happy. But overall, I liked it. And ugh, I don't know. I think I'll give it 4 out of 5 paper boats. Abby was so obsessed with making paper boats. She made them all the time. She made me one that, and she wrote SS Mommy on it. I still have it. It actually used to be on my
Back in the
desk when I
days
packed it up.
when Abby was cute and innocent.
Yeah, when she was still nice to me.
So again, not to beat a dead horse, but over the last 5.5 years, my opinion on the movie has softened significantly. So don't come at me when I give my ranking, but just remember it has softened significantly from where it was back then. Um, Visually, there is some great aspects of how the movie shot, all of, you know, the special effects, the performances of Bill Skarsgård and some of the adults, and again, the kids and their chemistry. It's undeniably amazing. I mean, all 7 of them are incredible. So hats off to them. Um, is it a movie that, ooh, it's been 6 months, I need to go out and sit down and watch it chapter 2 again? No. Truth be told, if I get it withdrawal and I feel like I need to watch it, I probably still will go put 1990 back in and I will watch that movie instead. But from where I was when this movie came out to now, my ranking has gone from there to I'm going to give it five or no. Stop that. Reverse it. Run it back. I'm giving it three clown face spiders out of five.
All
Just because
right.
I feel like um, the plan was to go three clown episodes in a row just for you,
Yeah,
and we flip flopped the episodes, so I didn't get to do it. So you're getting clown face spiders for my ranking system.
that's fine.
So
All
for
right.
those of you who don't know, Amanda doesn't like clowns. Amanda doesn't like spiders. Put them together,
Yeah.
peanut butter and jelly.
Who actually likes clowns? I mean, come on. The only time I like clowns is when I'm clowning for Taylor Swift's Easter eggs. Anyway,
My mic just cut out.
okay.
Ah,
You mean your
no,
head, your speakers cut out, or
yeah, I guess that would have
anyway?
made more sense. So, we can't end the episode as always though without thanking the listeners for being here each and every week. You guys are amazing. You are incredible. You are awesome. You are all the adjectives, well, loving adjectives all rolled into one. We love you guys and appreciate you for being here with us and supporting us for the last 4.5 years. And we look forward to being back with you next week where we will wrap up Stephen King Birthday Bonanza with a discussion on his recent film. That's probably the best way I can think of to describe it, but we're going to talk about The Monkey. So join us next week for that. And then we will be rolling right into Halloween Horror Fest coming up right after that with more clowns, killer clowns from outer space,
Heck
clowns in a
yeah.
cornfield, um, House on Haunted Hill as well. And Amanda's going to get us one step closer to being done with the Halloween franchise as we will be talking about Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers.
Yay.
So,
One of my
uh,
favorites.
also coming up in the next few weeks, my co-host and I are discussing the possibilities of how we're going to do the fact that 2026 is going to be theme year. So themes every month all the way through. And our first theme in January is going to be Razzie movies, Razzie winning movies. So for those of you who don't know, those are the supposed worst movies of the year. And my idea was, and I'm pretty sure that one will agree, I'm going to pick one, she'll pick one, and then together we'll pick one, and then we'll let the Colonels pick one as well. And we'll discuss those in the month of January. We've got a whole list of other stuff coming up for the rest of the year that we'll talk about throughout the rest of the year and all of that. We're going to have a lot of fun next year as we celebrate our 5th year doing the podcast. But with all of that said, I'm going to shut up though and go watch as history is being made in the great state of Missouri right now as my Mariners are kicking the holy crap out of Kansas City. But co-host,
Well, there
take
you
a
go. All right. Hope you guys liked our discussion on it, chapter 2. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to the Evening at the Movies channel and let everybody know you like the show and share it with everybody and all that good stuff.
yes, please,
Thanks.
because we are so close to getting paid to do it for doing this show.
Woo woo. Thanks for watching and listening, and hope you come back for an evening at the movies. Goodbye.
Peace and no hair grease.
Da, 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 da. Afro circus, Afro circus.